Welcome back everyone. I wanted to kind of compile a list of some iPhones that in my opinion are some of the highest rated iPhones of all time and pretty much universally known as some iPhones that people just love without a doubt. Now obviously there's no perfect iPhone, there's going to be devices that have a lot of problems, but these are some that I'm really happy about in my opinion. Now all of these will be linked down below so you can get them from there, you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, the very first iPhone that I want to hit on is the iPhone XR. I really do think that this is one of those iPhones that people just love without a doubt. And that goes without saying. The iPhone XR, in my opinion, when it first came out, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But since its release, I mean, this has been a really good iPhone. It's been perfect in almost every single way. And this is an iPhone that everyone I know who owns it is just super happy with. In my opinion, if you have an iPhone XR, there really isn't that big of a reason to go from this phone to something like an iPhone 12 or the iPhone 13s that haven't even been released yet. There's not like any super crazy thing the XR has that other iPhones don't have. So in my opinion, the XR is a very good phone for sure, and I'm really happy about that device. Now another phone that is pretty much on the same par as this is the iPhone 11. In my experience, this is the perfect iPhone for everyone. If you need to get a device, the iPhone 11 is the one for you. It's not too expensive. And after looking through all these forums and everybody saying everything and reading all the comments, this is another one of those devices that people who have it love it and people who don't have it want it. Like, this is a great device for a lot of people. It has great battery, pretty good screen, very cheap for this day and age, and it's even cheaper in the used market, and it's going to be very long supported. I mean, this phone's going to get features for years and years and years to come. So that's another really big thing about it. And I think the iPhone 11 is another one of those devices, just knocks it out of the park, and it's definitely one of my favorite devices as well. Now another device, and this is a little bit of a curveball because it's definitely not perfect, but for the most part, everyone loves this iPhone. It's the iPhone SE 2. This is another one of those devices that, from people that I've seen, from people who use this device, and from people who are planning on buying an iPhone, they really do love the iPhone SE 2. Now it is not perfect, it obviously has some shortcomings here and there. I think the biggest shortcoming is probably the battery, but people seem to get over the body, the big bezels, Touch ID, things like that. People seem to be forgiving of those things, mostly because of that price tag. That price is the biggest thing and biggest differentiating factor between, a cheaper iPhone like this and the most expensive iPhone 12 Pro Max. Some people don't want to spend that much money. They would rather buy something like an iPhone SE 2 and save a little bit of money that way. So I think that's another pretty big advantage with this specific device. And I think if you're planning on buying a phone, the iPhone SE 2 is a very good phone at that specific price tag. Now finally, the last phone I would probably recommend talking about is probably the iPhone 8 Plus. This is another one of those devices that just seems to just knock it out of the park when it comes down to performance and just everything all around. Now, it isn't a perfect phone like I mentioned. It does have a lot of issues, but I think for anyone out there, if you're planning on buying an iPhone and you want to maintain that body and everything, the iPhone 8 Plus is a great phone. But from everyone that I've known who own the iPhone 8 Plus as well, and from a lot of comments and everything, this was one of the last iPhones that people would just universally loved, in my opinion. I think the iPhone 10 was a great phone, but even during its release, it had a lot of problems. I think the iPhone 8 Plus is a perfect device for a lot of people, and I think for a majority of people out there, everyone loved this iPhone. I think I was going to put the iPhone 10 here too, but I do remember in the beginning with people weren't super happy about it and they didn't like the notch, they didn't like this and that. So not everyone loves those phones, but everyone loves these iPhones for sure. Like I mentioned, if you want to pick these things up, links are down in the description. You can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Hit the like button, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.